welcome back to Love All Beauty. I'm Amanda. I am super excited for today's episode. It is going to be the first episode in a series I plan on doing here on my channel called In Depth, where we pick one particular subject, whether it be makeup or skincare, and we go in depth about that subject. Before we jump into that, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. You can hit the notification bell, that way you're notified anytime that I upload a video. And if at any time when you're watching this video, you're thinking, wow, this is a really good video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. All right, let's jump right into it. We are talking about brows. Oh my goodness, there is so much out there in the market right now when it comes to brows. It can be very overwhelming if you have no idea what you're doing. I went through that period of time in my life. I mean, growing up, starting out in makeup, brows were kind of an afterthought. There are so many things that you can get done to your brows. You can do a lot of these things at home. Let's first go over some professional things that you can do. The first would be microblading, which is probably one of the most popular things to be doing. It is a little bit on the expensive side, but I know some people that have had it done and have really liked the results. Microblading is a good option for you if you really don't have any eyebrows and you're wanting to have eyebrows. The most confusing thing can be, what am I supposed to do to shape my eyebrows? So doing the microblading, having a professional literally map out on your face how your eyebrows should be, you know, collaborating with them on what your aesthetic is, as far as, do you like a fuller brow or a thinner brow or a fluffy brow or so on and so forth. There's honestly a million and one options. I think the best thing that you can do when it comes to microblading is ask around. See if there's anybody that you know that has had microblading done. You know, ask them about their experience. Instagram and social media can be a really good idea to just kind of do a search of people that do microblading in your area and look at a lot of different before and afters and that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so excited. I'm getting out of breath. Calm down, Amanda. Calm down. Microblading essentially is like a semi-permanent tattoo. They're taking a blade and using that to create hair-like strokes while imparting the pigment into your skin. It's a very precise procedure that they go through as far as measuring everything out, getting the correct angles and all of that. It's pretty interesting. The next procedure that's kind of gained in popularity is called brow lamination. Essentially, it's like a reverse perm for your eyebrows. So it gives you that soap brow effect, which we'll talk about here soon, where your eyebrows are brushed up to give you that lifted look, and then essentially they're using like a chemical to kind of adhere those brows up, so it gives the illusion of a lifted brow and also the illusion of having more brow hairs than you actually do, because a lot of times coinciding with the lamination process, they also do tinting, which can make your eyebrows look fuller than they actually are. The process, you know, can be expensive. You do have to get it done more frequently. I believe the procedure lasts a couple of months. But there are some options that you can do from home that might be a little bit easier for you and more cost effective. One of the first things that I started doing for my brows that I've found that has really made a difference is tinting them. This is the tint that I've been using for quite some time now. This is one that I have bought off of Amazon. If you aren't exactly aware of what tinting is, so it's basically coloring your eyebrows. This kit in particular basically has these little color granules, here you can see, and then you just mix that with just a little bit of water, keep mixing it, mixing it, kind of creates like a paste. Then you're gonna apply that to your eyebrows using an angled brush like this. So you just are going to apply it, and the idea is that if you have any lighter brow hairs, this is going to kind of help color those a little bit darker and make them more prominent. The tinting can also tint your skin as well, so that can kind of aid in helping your brows look a little bolder than they actually are. For me in particular, you can tell this kind of tail end of my brow tends to be just a little bit more sparse. By the way, I don't have anything on my brows right now. And I think the last time I tinted my brows was maybe a couple weeks ago at this point. When I do the tinting, sometimes, you know, it'll get down onto my skin here and just make this area look a little fuller than it is. I love tinting. I think, you know, it's kind of one of those trial and error type of things. I have seen some other YouTubers that use the Just for Men to color their eyebrows, and have found that that works really great for them. It's inexpensive, and it comes with, like this, a ton of uses, because you know, barely need to use any of the color and a little bit of developer, and then you're putting it out, you know, only on your eyebrows. So I mean, something like that's gonna last you quite some time. When you're putting it on your eyebrows, it does look a little scary in the sense that it'll start out a lighter color, and then as it develops, it'll get a little bit darker. So when you're starting out, what I would do honestly is just go in with a light hand, and don't let it sit on the full amount of time that they're saying. Let it just sit there honestly like a minute, and then take it off and see what you think of that color. If you want it to be a little darker, a little richer, then you can leave it a couple more minutes and just trial and error it. The next holy grail item that I use for my brows is a micro pencil. So this one in particular is by NYX, and I use the color Taupe. A micro pencil, they have so many of these on the market. This is just one that I find that works good for me, and it's pretty inexpensive. NYX is something that you can get at the drugstore. Usually just comes with a spoolie on one end, you can see there, and then the pencil on the other end here. Micro pencils are amazing at creating those hair-like strokes for your eyebrows. I mean, you can just go in and create like a really structured, drawn-in brow, and you can just kind of color it in without really doing any hair strokes. I prefer a more natural look, so I typically do the hair strokes and find that it works really well for me. All right, so I got my little cat ears on here, and I moved you guys in a little bit because I wanted to start using some of these products on my brows and just show you how they work. One of the things I mentioned with brow lamination is that it gives you that soap brow effect. If you've never heard of soap brows, essentially it's using soap to kind of comb up your brows and just give them that like lifted, combed up effect. This soap brow kit you can buy. This is by Revolution Makeup, and now you can get this brand at Ulta. Patrick Ta is another who came out with a soap brow kit similar to this. He's available at Sephora. Either one works. You can honestly even just buy a bar of soap. You can use like the white soaps and stuff, but I find that that would leave like a white film on your eyebrows. Lean more towards the glycerin type soaps, the clear soaps. I know Neutrogena has a glycerin bar soap that they've had out forever and a day. You could use that and just like a spoolie brush like this. The key with using the soap brow here is actually getting it a little bit wet before you put the brush in there. So I'm just using a little bit of this like spray water I have. It comes with this little cute little brush. It looks like a mini toothbrush. It's like a toothbrush for an elf, but it's for my brows. All right, so then you just kind of go to town in there, getting that soap on there. Then I'm gonna lean in here so you can see what the heck I'm doing. And you just comb up your brows, and you'll see, I mean, it's a lifted kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say messy, but it just looks more natural, I guess. You can definitely tell the difference. The PC, more natural brow as opposed to like a more kind of combed down effect. Just pat it down. I mean, that's gonna stay. It's pretty waxy. It's got some hold to it. I used to be someone who would like trim the hairs and stuff and like make it look really uniform. I liked the style better if I just let them do their thing. Now that I've done the soap brows, I like to go in with my micro pencil to create those hair-like strokes and fill in any areas that may be a little more sparse, which for me tends to be the tail end of my brow. We're gonna just take this little guy here, my little NYX micro pencil. You can do a combination of just coloring in, or you can also do just like the hair-like strokes. You can kind of brush them up a little bit, kind of marry the pen, or the pencil I should say, with your hairs. You can also go in with a more filled look, which I'll try to do here. So just really go in and underline your brow, creating that fuller effect. And then just once again kind of brush it up. You can tell the difference in the two. Like one just seems more like lifted and you know, a little more fluffy, and the other one's just a little sad. The other option that you have for filling in your brows is powder. So this one in particular that I have is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, Anastasia Beverly Hills, however you want to say it. This is the Taupe Brow Powder Duo. We're gonna go ahead and fill in my sad brow. It does look sad. If you're using multiple products and you're really wanting to set those brows down, using like a pencil or a pomade, and then kind of setting that with a brow powder, I think really helps with the longevity of your eyebrows. We're gonna use a angled brush. With the brow powder, you can really just go pretty ham with it and just fill in those areas. Powder's a good way to fill in and also just make your brow look pretty natural. And the angled brush really helps you to get that fine tip on the tail of your brow. Brush it through, brush it through. Another way you can do it as far as really filling in the top. I'm gonna just make this a nice, structured, strong, bold brow. We are getting it. I'm gonna kind of use the tip of this brush to kind of just do those upward strokes. Hopefully you guys can see the difference. Like one, like I said, is definitely more natural. And on the side with the powder, you can tell you can really fill in any of those sparse areas. You can get darker colors to kind of create the gradient look here on the tail end. Another thing besides the soap brows to really get your eyebrows to stay up is using a brow gel. This one I have here is by Essence. It's just a clear gel and it just comes, of course, with the little spoolie here. You can just take a regular spoolie, spray it with some hairspray or even honestly some gel, and then just comb through. So I'm not gonna comb up these hairs quite as much as the soap brows, just to kind of give you different look. There's really honestly so many different ways to do eyebrows now. And like I said, just figure out what it is that you're wanting to do. You can go on places like Pinterest or Instagram, just look for inspiration and ways that you want to wear your brows. There's no right or wrong when it comes to makeup. That's the best thing. I really hope that this has helped you guys just kind of navigate the world of brows. I'm excited about doing this series of in-depth. If you guys have any subjects in particular that you're wanting me to talk about, then definitely sound off down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. This YouTube journey has been really exciting for me. It's been quite a learning experience just figuring out, you know, the filming and editing side of things. Thank you so much again for watching and being with me here today, and I will see you guys all on my next video. Bye!